Live from Halloween Central, it's Ask an Engineer.
Coming to you from the 21st century, it's Ask an Engineer with ray guns and 3D printing and engineering.
Bum, 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 bum. The Buck Rogers theme song is amazing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. It's like your favorite sci-fi show, right?
No, it's just the intro is incredible.
Yeah. Okay.
It's the year 3000, and like it's so 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the, and then they have the robots, and then they change, and then they were in a ship, and like they had to get the Hawk guy, Hawkman. Yeah,
Anyways,
it has a little bit of everything.
We have ray guns. We got a show. We got an exciting show tonight. This is our pre-Halloween show. We've got a lot of people showed up on the show and tell to show off their costumes. That's exciting. We've got a 3D printed Boo candy dish.
Yeah, I got a little bit of costuming stuff here.
We
got some 3D print stuff, yeah.
And a lot of great stuff in the store and to show off and tutorials and videos. So let's get started.
Okay, on tonight's show, the code is cosplay. 10% off in the Adafruit store. Everything that's in stock all the way up until 11:59 p.m. Get on it. I'm going to talk about the show and tell. We had amazing people showing their amazing costumes, amazing props, amazing everything. It was so amazing. It was so nice. I'll say it twice. It was amazing. Pack the mailbags and stop by, read some emails that we get. We're going to stop by the Adafruit Jobs Board, the best place online to post your skills, or if you're a company looking for a maker. We're going to talk about some Halloween stuff. Adafruit Learning System, 620-something tutorials. It's scary. Going to do some time travel and look back in the world of makers, hackers, artists, and engineers. Got some wearable electronics. Got some 3D printing. We're going to show some new projects. We're going to answer your questions. We're going to have a trivia question. All that and more. You guessed it. You're still here. It's Ask an Engineer.
Yay!
Yeah. Okay. So let's get this party started.
Let's get this party started.
Okay. So
It's a
first up,
party.
So first up, we've got a code. Cosplay.
Okay.
10% off Adafruit store.
We'll talk about cosplay soon.
Yeah. Bitcoin, we still take it. The scariest currency. I don't know.
What is it at now? Like 300, 400?
I don't know. Someone probably can post up in there. I mean, it's like it's half of what it was at peak. I'm actually noticing the orders slowing down for Bitcoin. The folks that really wanted to spend a lot of Bitcoin right away, they did it. And they did it at peak, which was really smart. We even said, like, hey, this is probably a good time to do that. So over the holidays, you know, for us, it was a few $100,000, actually quite a bit of sales. But, you know, other payment options are always going to be more popular, at least for now. But I'm glad we offer it. Speaking of special offers, we have the free deal going on right now. It's the Half-Life Perma Proto for $99 or more and $200 for UPS Ground Continental US. If you combine that with the code, which is cosplay, and some other stuff, you actually make out on a lot of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
You should pick, I mean, probably too late to buy stuff for Halloween because it's not going to ship till tomorrow anyways, even if you do overnight. But there's always a Comic-Con, there's always some costuming event, and who knows, maybe you'll go to a Halloween party next weekend. Yeah,
I mean, if you ordered something right now and did next day, or it would show up on Friday, which is cutting it a little tight. But
that's really close.
But people on Saturday and Sunday who are going to Halloween parties, you'd still be okay. We don't do Saturday or Sunday delivery service, so you're risking it. But anyways, you could.
Yeah, you could do some ELY or something.
Yeah, sure. There's lots of things you can do. Okay, so data.
Yeah.
By the way, before we get on to this stuff, so I had to picture this UPS truck.
Okay.
I've been looking at
It's not actually a UPS truck.
It's a tiny one.
No, it's not.
It's a package van. It's a package van.
No, that's the pea shooter.
No.
No, that's a pea shooter.
Is it a pea shooter?
Yes, short.
I thought the pea shooter was the other one. There was pea shooter. I thought this was. They use package van, and then the truck is. This is a truck. Yeah, I forget now.
Yeah.
But anyways, I've been doing the audit on the UPS stuff, and so we're getting really, really good at shipping. We're actually able to tell when there's residential surcharges, how much for dimensional shipping. We're digging into these numbers.
Yeah, people don't realize how when you run a business, you spend a lot of your time just like making sure you're actually paying what you think you're paying for stuff.
Not only that, but so you think, hey, I want to sell electronics. Like, okay, I'm going to like do manufacturing and sell electronics. Most of your time that you spend is things like, I need to get really good about credit card fraud prevention. I need to get really good about fuel charge rates and making sure that things are getting accurately charged.
Getting like good credit card rates and like negotiating with PayPal and and like getting boxes and
Yeah.
all this other stuff.
So anyways, I've been looking at that a lot. One day I'm going to hopefully be able to write an article about all this stuff. I'm knee deep in this, but it's very interesting. This is
we get billed for the UPS shipping after it's been shipped.
Yeah.
So we try as hard as we can to estimate exactly how much all the things you order are going to weigh and how big that box is going to be.
Yeah.
And we're like 99% good at it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's actually like when every order was like a Minty Boost and a TV Beyond, it was really easy. Like if you ordered one kit, if you ordered a Zox box, it's $15 shipping. I knew it was $15 shipping. It was $15 domestic, no matter what. But now people order like 10 NeoPixel rings and like a robot and like a Raspberry Pi and a case and like a starter pack. Like it actually starts getting really complicated to figure out what is the dimensional size, and like now they have dimensional shipping.
Yeah,
it's starting to come into effect.
All of shipping is gonna change. Check it out, creeper.
What the?
Creeper. Okay.
Creepy.
So
Hold on.
it's just a normal night at Adafruit. So anyways, it's pretty neat because you have to kind of be good at 15 different businesses. But what it's doing is preparing us. The world is about to change. The days of companies being able to afford free shipping is over, and even things like Amazon Prime, they're all raising their prices because the carriers, FedEx and UPS, are matching like penny per penny on the new charges, the raises that they're putting on stuff. So anyways, neat
it's
stuff.
actually interesting. It's like this is the like when you take computer science classes, and they always do like knapsack problems. Like this is like you're like, when am I ever going to store various values of products with different dimensions and sizes into a fixed size knapsack? And it's like that's actually what shipping calculations are. Like it's all it is.
Yeah.
One gigantic and incomplete problem.
Yeah. Okay. So anyways, I thought that was neat. I've been working on that with Mary and our team here. Okay. So Lady Ada, we had a show and tell. Show and tells every single week, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They add themselves on the show and tell page.
That's right.
I'll ask you again how to do it after you're done. But what was on the show?
Okay, we had a huge, super mega packed show, which I expected because it's the pre-Halloween show. We had like 12 people, I think, including one cat. We'll talk about that in a second. Start off with Noah and Pedro from Adafruit Southeast. They are part of the Adafruit team. They previewed this week's 3D Thursday, which is the Mario Clouds pendant, which is it this one or is this the other pendant, but it looks a lot like this. It's a little pendant with Super Mario Clouds, just like this is the Flying Toasters one, just like Corey Archangel's art that you can wear at all times. Check that out. It's a great project showing how to do miniaturization with a Pro Trinket. That's tomorrow at 3D Thursday and a 3D hangout with Matt, Noah, and Pedro. So check that out, 3 p.m. tomorrow. And they also previewed next week's video, which is this like totally awesome, completely 3D printed ray gun with sound effects. Just neat, and this one goes pew. Oh wait, I have to turn it on. And then after that, we got Tony and Carmen, the cat. Tony made a CC3000 plus sound effect board so we can connect to the Arduino over like a phone or whatever, just like type in the IP address and trigger sounds remotely. And these were just a very fast, easy project to make a Wi-Fi controlled soundboard. And his cat really, really hates it. Like, was attacking this project. So I don't know if you have a cat, just be aware. Cat might dislike this project. Richard came by with hand-carved Invader Zim style goggles. So if you're the kind of person who just likes to go doom 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 doom, you should check out this project. It is 6 years in the making. These Invader Zim goggles. They've got lenses and lasers and like gears, and they're super cool. And they're handmade. And he's gonna maybe put some electronics in them. We had C. Scott plus C. Scott's 2 young assistants show up to discuss the Halloween/holiday decorations to their house. They added NeoPixel edging to their kind of ranch-style house so that they can like make the outside of their house have like different colors and effects for the holidays. And right now it's got like a Halloween orangish candle flickery look, and they've also got some decorations up. So it is festive, and by Christmas they're going to be totally rocking. I'm sure it'll have like 5,000 different effects and stuff. So it's not a bad time to start doing it now if you want to have like Christmas decorations up, if you want to zip tie LEDs to your house. Mike Barella, who is the famous author of the Trinket book, which we have in the store and is sold out, but sign up, we'll get more soon, showed off his Star Wars blaster. Very similar. He took a Star Wars blaster toy from a store and gutted it and put in a sound effect board and a button so that he could also make a ray gun that had way better sound effects than the default sound, which apparently totally sucks. We also had Roberto, who showed off the Minecraft costume that he worked on for his son. He showed off as an angry guy, and he had little white LED kind of angry eyes, and with the epic candy bin, which looked like a 3x3 cube of Minecraft blocks.
Yeah.
And with
that's
LEDs on the inside, you can press a button to change like what it looks like. So it looks like a portal, or it looks like grass, or it looks like ore, or whatever, like red glowing, whatever, all sorts of different effects. Actually kind of a cool project because you can use it after you're done with Halloween.
Like how you're not putting the gun down the entire time. You're just like, yeah, I know. Okay.
Quiet, or the Mr. Lady that gets it.
Yeah, I know.
Yugitar came by with a mad scientist costume, complete with NeoPixel goggles, with different effects and buttons that you could like change the effects, and a wig, and like a drink, which is very handy.
Yeah.
And what else did he have? Oh, he had an XKCD shirt. It was very science-y. And gloves.
Yeah, and
very
lab coat and everything, yeah.
If you're a scientist or engineer, chances are you can just raid your lab for a mad scientist costume. All you need is like a wig and you're like totally done. And maybe if you don't comb your hair that much, you don't even need a wig. And then Virgil came in and he made a screaming candy cauldron. So when you reach your hand in, the cauldron screams. It's also a fun project. He uses an Arduino. And then he cut off, and so we didn't hear the rest of it. It's some sort of wave shield, an Arduino, and maybe some sort of sensor. Maybe they'll show up next week and show us a screaming cauldron bin. And Robert came by with a wheelchair type hacked project. Actually wasn't a wheelchair. It's like a
could be an assistive scooter or something like that.
Yeah, because it was a scooter that usually has a joystick, but instead he looked at the joystick connector and reverse engineered the protocol and connected a Arduino plus Bluetooth Low Energy module to it so that he could control it, the movement and direction and speed of the wheelchair buggy from a cell phone using Bluetooth Low Energy. So that's actually a pretty cool hack. So, wow, we had so many projects. Wasn't that amazing?
Yeah. I gotta get in here too. So I can
You can queue also.
Yeah, well I got mine lights up. Okay. So Lady Ada, don't forget, all participants on the show and tell get as seen on the show and tell sticker. All they need to do is email support@adafruit.com and they get their as seen on show and tell sticker. Where do they go and what do they do?
Oh, it's so easy. All you have to do is
I'm gonna let you finish, but I want to.
Mr. Lady Ada shot first. Go to our show and tell circle at plus.google.com/+Adafruit and find the thread where we say comment here to get added to the show and tell circle. We have a little AdaBot character cartoon as well. And comment there with your avatar, Google Plus avatar, and then we will be able to click on your name and then add it to the VIP circle for show and tell, and you'll get invited along with the other 500 exciting and interesting people who travel space and the internet to show off projects every week. You can show off projects any week you like.
Yeah,
You'll get invited every week.
It's not the VIP circle, it's the show and tell circle, because we had a VIP circle when Google Plus first started, and we had so many people that we put in there, they said you can't put any more people in there, so then we had to start another circle.
But they're still very important people.
The show and tell circle is where you want to be.
There's the VIP circle, which is very important people, and these are the very inventor people.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Okay. All right, next up, Packet the Mailbag Stuff Guys. Hi, I'm Packet, I'm an envelope. We read these emails and letters and everything to the entire company each week. We thought we'd have this as a feature on our blog and also now on Ask an Engineer. We've been doing this for a bit. So this is from GDGARCD. I don't think that's pronounceable.
GD Garcid.
GD Garcid, who says, I just want to say thanks for the great support on the forum. I have to tell you that the reason I keep buying from you is because when I'm on your site looking around, I see that an item has a step-by-step tutorial, and I'm able to buy the supplies and give it a try. Just having the items with just to name the numbers to a newbie means nothing when you can see what's possible. The wheels in the brain start to turn. How cool is that? That's right. That's why we put everything. That's why we put all of the tutorials online for free for everyone to learn.
Do you know how many tutorials we have?
Probably 600 and something.
626 tutorials.
That's a lot.
Maybe even more by the end of tonight.
Okay. All right, next up. The Adafruit jobs board is something that we started probably a couple of years now. And what we wanted to do is have the best place online for someone to post their skills.
Yeah.
and companies who want people that are makers and maker-minded. Maybe they're designers, maybe they're engineers, and it's worked out really great. We approve, you and I, every single one of the jobs that are posted. All you need to do is get an Adafruit account. We don't let any spammers or headhunters in there. This week, if you're looking for a cool job, the job is a mechanical engineer at Updroid in San Francisco. This is a mechanical engineer job, and your role there will be to build the chassis and kinematic links for the robot. Apart from this, you'll also be in charge of prototyping, parts procurement, and vendor dealings. This job comes with a large amount of creative liberty, and we want you to take full advantage of it. So this is like, want to build robots? Yeah, maybe I want to build robots.
Okay, if you're going to build robots, this is your opportunity. Like, it's hard to get a place where you can actually just build robots for a living, and I know there's a lot of people.
Okay. So next up, we are in the middle of Pound Electronic Halloween. This is our tag that we use on all of our blog posts. We have a lot of cool stuff. I just want to go over a couple cool costumes that I just saw right before I hit the show. This is like Alien Queen.
This is Flapper Alien Queen. This is lovely.
Yeah. This is a cool mask. I'm just like walking around.
Look at that purse. That purse is awesome.
Yeah. So this is neat. It looks like it's like 3D printed, or like there's all sorts of stuff going on here.
The Xbox logo always makes me think of the alien eggs. It's like
I think that was by design.
Yeah.
The other thing, this is neat. There is an article that we posted on the site. The future of 3D printing is Halloween costumes. There's a future Halloween costume is 3D printing. This is one of the characters from Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas.
I don't remember. I know this character, but
it's the Halloween.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know this character.
Yeah, he was the mad scientist guy.
Okay.
So, anyways, and this is all 3D printed.
This is an epic costume.
Yeah, and then this one's kind of neat. This is an Arduino costume.
Arduino.
So you could be your favorite.
That's sweet.
Yeah, you could be your favorite prototyping platform, and I think it works. The Arduino.
Yeah, there's an Arduino.
The Arduino actually works. Yeah.
Well, of course, that's to power the costume.
Yeah.
What's funny is like her leggings are Arduino blue. Like that is actually that is the blue that Arduino are.
Okay, and I thought what I would do is tell a spooky story this Halloween. I have a scary story.
Do you want to turn off the lights and like get a flashlight?
No. Once upon a time, a bunch of FTD drivers released, and these ghost FTDI chips. Yeah, no. So this was the news, and we were kind of waiting because the story was bubbling up.
Yeah.
But I'll do the too long, didn't read, and then I want you to explain kind of what happened.
Okay.
So FTDI chips, and maybe you can explain what they are in a bit, but they're chips that need drivers. Windows Update had an update, and if there was a counterfeit FTDI chip out there, the FTDI chip wouldn't work. And it was a very clever way they did it. Right away, a lot of people with counterfeit products, whether they knew it or not, said, oh my God, my thing doesn't work anymore. People like us are like, well, we get genuine FTDI chips. Let's double check our supply and suppliers. We were all fine. We put notes on the product page. We put everything up instantly so everyone knew what they had. But maybe you could talk about what this was. First, what's an FTDI chip, and then what happened with this last week?
So FTDI chip is actually their company, FTDI. I don't know what.
They're not a florist like
they're not the florist FTDI. They're Finnish, I believe. Though I don't remember.
I think they're in the UK or Scottish.
You're right. They're in the UK. So I'm confusing with VLSI. They make a lot of like set of bridge chips. They have the FT232 series, which is like what they're best known for. They make a couple like graphics driver chips and some other chips, and they kind of make like the best quality USB to serial converter chip, like driver wise. Like their driver is the best out there. It's better than the classic CDC driver in my opinion, and it basically converts USB, which is what every computer has, to serial, which is like this very ancient protocol that is still extremely popular with microcomputers and microcontrollers. I'm not a huge fan of serial, but it is everywhere. It's kind of ancient, but it's around. It's never going to die. And so
remember our laptop we kept around because it had a serial port on it?
Yeah,
like
you had these little DB9 they were serial mice. You'd have them, and there are a couple like GPS. I've seen sometimes GPS devices still have serial output, really old ones.
Yeah.
In which case you need a USB to serial converter, and FTDI chip kind of makes kind of one of the best ones, in my opinion. I actually like the Prolific series, the PL2303. I think they're also really good, and I think also Scilabs does a pretty good job, but the Prolific ones are very well supported as well, although they also have a counterfeiting issue. And so the problem is that once a chip becomes very, very popular, especially a chip which I will be honest here. It's not very complicated. It's not. There's not a lot going on with this chip. It's basically a USB device that just takes little packets of data and converts them from serial to USB. It's so simple that the Arduinos now don't use this chip. They actually use a very small AVR chip to just simulate it.
Yeah, they moved off FTDI.
They moved off to FTDI because they didn't want to have to be dependent on them.
Yeah.
So admittedly, the chip is not that complicated. It's actually quite easy to counterfeit. By using any microcontroller that can do USB, and like just about every microcontroller can do USB, you can get a USB microcontroller for 50 cents. So not that I want to go into the counterfeiting business, but you can counterfeit these $2.50 chips for probably 50 cents and sell the chips for cheaper and still make a pretty good profit. And so some companies have done this. What they would do is and they feed it into the gray market. Like, you're not going to get counterfeit chips from DigiKey or Mouser. Like, you don't have to worry about that because DigiKey and Mouser, they source chips correctly.
The Arduino clones, and I mean Arduino counterfeits, and the Arduino clones that like maybe compatibles that you see on eBay.
Yeah.
Specifically,
how do they make them for like $10? Well, they use counterfeit
specifically
chips.
The ones from China. That's where a lot of people instantly started saying, my thing doesn't work anymore. So that was a big source of where this came up.
So if you have these counterfeit chips, so FTDI got very frustrated with this because they found that they were being counterfeited through the gray market. Basically, you would, when you take your design to manufacture, say you go to China to manufacture something, oftentimes you'll do a turnkey where the factory, for a discount, or not even a discount, but to make your life a lot easier, they'll source all the components. They won't have to pay taxes on them because they'll have deals. So they'll source these FTDI chips, and they won't guarantee. They'll say they get them from a guaranteed source, but they won't. Whatever. Anyway, somehow these counterfeit chips make their way to the market because they are cheaper. And FTDI was really frustrated, and so what they did is in the latest version of Windows Update, they inserted a little bit of code into the driver. The drivers get auto-updated. So if you already had FTDI drivers installed, I assume, or I think you already had to have the drivers installed, it would install the new version, which would run code that if you had a counterfeit would basically make the chip unusable without some manipulation. You can bring it back to life, but it tries its best to basically make
and the end user really wouldn't know what's going on.
No, it actually just stop. It would just say couldn't load.
You're like, why is my thing not working? You wouldn't get a message and say this is a counterfeit chip.
No, it just says it just stops working. And what was weird is, of course, it would work before the update, and then after the update, it wouldn't work. And at first, I actually wasn't convinced that they did this on purpose. I know that it's there's a bit of a outrage culture where it's very easy to just be like, they did this on purpose, and F that.
But this one they did.
They did actually do it on purpose. But I had to give them a benefit of the doubt because you never know. They can control the cameras, but they did actually do it on purpose. Which I think is kind of iffy. I actually am okay if it doesn't work with counterfeits because I've seen that. Like Prolific definitely released drivers that do not work. They'll pop up a code 10 because I've gotten samples of stuff and I'm like, it doesn't work with the driver, and they're like, yeah, it's a counterfeit. And I'm like, okay. So then I go to the factory and say, you have to give me genuine. And I for the stuff that I use with FTDI, I require that the factory use genuine FTDI chips. Like I shake them and I'm like, I will know that.
Yeah, even when you do that, sometimes some stuff can happen.
But they still do.
But we do require it in all of our contracts and all of our negotiations.
I do check them with. I have ways of checking it, so I've checked it, but most people can't. So, they rolled back the driver. And
that's the note from the CEO. The note is the recently released driver has now been removed from Windows Update so that on-the-fly updating cannot occur. The driver is in the process of being updated and will be released next week. This will still uphold our stance against drivers that are not genuine, but it will do so in a non-invasive way that means that there will be no risk to the end user's hardware being directly affected. So basically everything's going to go back to the way it was. Seems.
I'm okay if it doesn't work. That I'm okay with. You don't have to support or guarantee service with crummy chips, although unfortunately you still look bad because people think that your chip is like, people think that Prolific chips are bad quality because the driver doesn't work well with counterfeits. So if all you've seen is counterfeits, you're like, this chip sucks. It doesn't actually. It's actually, they're very good if you get the real thing. So it is a problem. I don't know what to do about it. I have a lot of sympathy for the semiconductor industry because this is a serious issue. If let's say you're going into production, let's say, like tomorrow, like I have if I'm Arduino or something, and I'm like, okay, I have an order for 50,000 Arduinos, and FTDI comes back and says, well, we don't have any stock right now, and Mauser and DigiKey are like, well, we don't have that much stock either. You can get, it's very easy to get kind of desperate and say, well, I'm going to go onto the gray market, the market of companies selling their stock back in or out of the market, and maybe not go with your favorite supplier, your guaranteed supplier, and risk it. And like sometimes, yeah, you get bit really hard. And I've seen it. I saw like Sele got bit by, they had failed Cypress chips, I think.
Yeah, I don't remember. I remember there's something on
they were marginal, and they kind of worked until they did a lot of testing, and then they stopped working. So they actually had chips that had failed tests that somehow made it into the market. So like, this is a really, really, really big problem.
And you hear the story about the Pentagon getting like counterfeit chips or stuff. So it's an issue. This brought it to a lot of attention of makers. The debate is how they could have handled it. So it's still kind of ongoing, I think, but for the most part, the company reacted after they saw a lot of people. This hit some sort of mainstream press because FTDI chips are used in lots of things.
Yeah.
So anyways, we right away updated our site and put notes on the product pages.
Yeah, we buy genuine FTDI chips.
Yeah.
Like USB Arduino, like we buy it from DigiKey, Mauser, and Arrow, so we know for sure.
We'll see. The people who use a lot of these things are engineers, and they choose to use certain chips for their designs. Some engineers will say, this is great, I don't want any chance of a counterfeit thing. Some will say, I understand completely why they did that, or they'll say, this is the wrong way to do it. So anyways, we'll see. Check back in a year. We'll see what's changed with FTDI. Okay. So that was the story.
That's a story. I know, it's a big of a tale.
People asked us. That was our spooky story. The ghost of the FTDI driver. So.
You know what though? If you like have an assembly, and like let's say like you made a machine with an FTDI chip in it, and it's like it's a $100 bomb, and this $2 chip is bad. I mean, getting it back from customers to rework it.
Yeah, it's tough.
It is a nightmare.
It's tough.
Hardware. It's slightly harder than T-shirts.
Yeah, that's our phrase. Okay. Next up, Adafruit Learning System. We have a bunch of tutorials on the learning system this week. We've got the sending SMS with Tembu. We just released this
thanks
today.
to Tembu for doing this tutorial. They wanted to do a tutorial on their learning site using, and they wanted to try it out, and so we made them an account. And they did a tutorial on using the CC3000 with the Tembu service to send an SMS when you press a button. It's a basic tutorial, but I actually really like how it's very straightforward. A lot of people just want to send an SMS or receive an SMS. So check out this tutorial if you're interested in adding Internet of Things capability to your Arduino.
Next up, this is the Daft Punk.
Daft Punk.
Yeah, Daft Punk. This is the poor man's Daft Punk helmet. So this is from Tony, who's in Missouri, who works with us, and he made what he's calling the poor man's Daft Punk helmet.
It's just like the silver mask, and it's translucent enough you can shine pixels.
You just need a Pro Trinket, a battery, backpack, battery, a switch, and 1 meter NeoPixel. So there's no excuse. You can still rock it all night.
Yeah, you don't need a 48-hour print.
Okay, this one will probably show this. This is the Maslow, a open Wi-Fi detector with Adafruit Pro Trinket and CC3000. The mini Adafruit system locates open wireless.
Yeah,
so it's super
Maslow.
cute.
This is a Phil B project with Noah and Pedro doing the 3D printing, and we've been trying to do a couple more Pro Trinket projects because we have a lot of Trinket projects, we don't have any Pro Trinket. This is where the Pro Trinket shines. It's very small and portable, but can do as much as an Arduino. So this uses the CC3000. It actually doesn't even connect on the wireless. All it does is scan for open Wi-Fi networks, and it like looks to see if any of them are open and unpassworded, and if so, it blinks the light to let you know that like now is a good time to pull out your laptop. So you don't have to pull out your laptop or your phone and scan. You can just use this instead.
Do you want to show that on the overhead?
Yeah, sure.
Meet.
Yeah, so this one uses an external antenna. You don't need to use an external antenna. You can use the internal, but the external one will, of course, get you more range. And then, here, let me bend this. There's the Pro Trinket. You can connect over the micro USB to reprogram it or recharge the battery. And then, I don't know if this is magnets or glue. Oh, it's just press fit. Inside, there is a little battery and a Pro Trinket, a CC3000 breakout board, a switch, and then a little battery backpack for recharging the LiPo, and then this nice translucent cover so that it blinks through, and then you can turn it on and off this way. So let's see what it does. Give it a second to boot up. Unless I killed the battery. Oh, no, there you go. So it turns on. This means it's scanning. So it takes like 30 seconds to scan.
I don't think we have open Wi-Fi anymore.
No, the,
I don't think we have open Wi-Fi. Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah, it does. There's the upstairs.
Oh, right. There
guest,
is. Yeah.
Wi-Fi
There's an open. Okay, so
upstairs.
it's like, hey,
so
there's some.
it says, hey, there's open Wi-Fi. It doesn't actually connect and try to do anything. Although that would be a fun project. You could update this project to like try to ping your server or something, and it would let you know.
What networks can it scan? A, B, C, D,
It's
G, M,
A, B, and G. It doesn't do N,
okay.
but most stuff does G.
Okay.
Like B, no, but G is pretty standard these days, so I'm not too worried about that.
All
so A, B,
right,
and G, N.
Moving right along in our tutorial journey. Next up, this is we're going to show this video shortly. This is the tiny TARDIS pendant.
Oh,
Where your Doctor Who? So.
A doctor.
Yeah. Did you want to?
Oh yeah, this is super cute. We'll show it on the show it on the overhead too, but we're going to show it on the video. And there's two versions. There's a bigger one with a bigger battery for like a little desktop toy, and then also one that you can wear. And this is just showing the kind of stuff you can do with 3D printing and glue. This is a pretty complicated structure, but with by gluing together 4 pieces.
Comic-Con, big deal. Doctor Who, it was everywhere.
It was everywhere.
So next up, we've got a tutorial for one of the new products we're going to show. This is the Adafruit TFP401 HDMI DVI decoder to 40-pin TTL display.
I know, it's so technical. Basically, it's a little monitor driver, and we just show you how to like recalibrate the screen if you want, all the specs,
lots of
data
words.
sheets and stuff. But yeah, it's a little display driver, so
okay.
I'll show that off as well.
Also, on the Adafruit Learning System, just released this tutorial today. This is Depixelator. It is a PIC-based NeoPixel.
Yeah, I'm not, I'm not gonna like only do AVR stuff. I'm okay with PIC stuff too.
No, PIC's
cool. This is a PIC 16 F
yeah,
series.
the thing is, we try to have a little bit for everybody. So the people who really like PIC, really like NeoPixels, got something here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is doing NeoPixels with PIC using, I think like the DMA system, so that you can do a lot with quite a small chip, because you like spit data out using, I think, either PWM DMA or SPI DMA.
Okay, next up. This is the Halloween Scream box from last week. Tony DeCola did this one. If you want to make a box that screams.
Yeah, when you open it or when somebody passes by, it screams. It's very simple, but boy, is it fun.
Yeah, if you tune into the show and tell, you'll see his cat batting the speakers when he used the CC3000 to control a soundboard over Wi-Fi.
Yeah, the cat thinks there's actually a person inside the speaker.
It's a reasonable thing for a cat to think that when a cat hears a scream, that there's a little person inside it.
MOSFET would run away. MOSFET would
go to sleep.
MOSFET would go to sleep.
Okay, all right.
Okay, that's a tutorial.
Yeah, time travel. So time travel is special this week because I'm going to combine it with 2 things. Open source hardware and Arduino. So I keep track of weird things.
Yes. So
back in 2011, this was the first spotting in the wild of an Arduino kit in Radio Shack.
Wow.
This is when Radio Shack got Arduino. It was the White Bridge Road, Nashville, Tennessee Radio Shack. And it was Make and Arduino and Radio Shack. And this is 3 years ago, just about. And this is when they started putting Arduino in Radio Shacks.
I wish Radio Shack would actually like submit they would post like a case study to see if it worked out. Like, we don't know if they're selling a lot of Raspberry Pi and Arduino stuff. I just want to know, like, is it working out?
Yeah. The thing I think is there's a lot of people that they're so close to a Radio Shack, they probably went there for lots of things they never could get before.
Yeah.
Arduinos and a lot of this DIY electronics.
It's like a BeagleBone now,
but,
right?
a big company like Radio Shack, especially with franchises, I think it's probably hard to get this data in one spot, analyze it, and then what would be their benefit of posting it up? I say it'd be very beneficial.
I think it would be beneficial
because
people would know what to pitch them.
Yeah, and we'll see. I mean, there's someone who crunches the numbers on if this experiment getting microcontrollers, the new ones, the Arduino, for the last 3 years in there, maybe they'll share it at some point. I wrote this article on Make. If you decide to retire a product, open source it, I kind of think if you do product sales like Radio Shack, which has a lot of like fond memories for people, and if it's working out for Arduino and all this open source hardware and everything, let everybody know. And if it's not, let them know too, because maybe there's insights that you can have. Maybe it costs too much to ship these things around. Maybe the packaging costs too much. Maybe customers only went to the store for this or that.
I don't know.
Anyways.
Speaking of Radio Shack, though, I just remembered when we were at Comic-Con, we saw Tandy.
Yeah, Tandy was there.
The original Tandy, the Tandy leather store, not this new computery Tandy.
Yeah.
It's cool. They're still around. It would be interesting to see if Tandy leather outlasts Radio Shack.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Next up, Wearables. We've got a new wearable video this week. It's that TARDIS video we talked about. Take it away, Becky.
This week we're building a light-up TARDIS pendant using a simple LED circuit and 3D printing. So grab your companion and let's put it together. Download and print our free files in blue and translucent PLA filament. While they're printing, solder a few LED sequins together in parallel using silicone-coated wire. Nestle the sequins in the 3D printed plate. You can use a nail file to adjust the tolerances for a snug fit. Run wires through the base and over to the coin cell battery breakout and switch. You can find the tutorial and circuit diagram for this project at the link in the description. Test it out, then use some E6000 glue to stick the sequin plate in place. This stuff takes a while to dry, but it makes your pendant a lot more durable than plain old hot glue. Assembly does not require a sonic screwdriver. A regular Phillips head will do just fine to attach the battery holder to the base plate. Once your illuminated base is complete, you can build up the rest of the TARDIS. Just snap on the translucent box, then carefully glue on the outer walls and top. Attach a split ring and necklace to your pendant and wear with pride. It may be bigger on the inside than on the outside, but if you're looking for even more space and longer battery life, try making this larger version and use it to adorn your desk or Christmas tree. So let us know what you're making in the comments and on our Show and Tell Hangout on Google+. Thanks so much for watching, and subscribe for more wearable electronics from Adafruit.
All right, on to 3D. Tomorrow, don't forget, 3 p.m., 3D Thursday. It's a 3D Thursday Hangout. Right now, we have a special video. We're always 1 week off.
I know.
This is something you wanted for a really long time. This is the flying toaster pendant.
In this project, we'll show you how to make very cute and adorable electronic jewelry. The flying toaster screensaver from After Dark makes great inspiration for a retro project using 3D printing and DIY electronics. You can, of course, get the parts to build this project from the shop on Adafruit.com. The Adafruit Pro Trinket is a microcontroller perfect for miniature projects and wearables. Combined with the light poly backpack, you can power and recharge the circuit over micro USB. This lovely monochrome OLED comes in just 1 inch with a crisp resolution of 124 by 64. The display can interface with either SPI or I2C. The vibration tilt switch makes an analog input for triggering the animations. The 3D printed enclosure was made in 123D design and is available to download and modify. The old school matte classic look is a 2-piece design that can be printed in either ABS or PLA. These small parts take just about an hour to print and require no support material. The circuit fits into place and a slide switch makes it easy to power on and off. A machine screw securely mounts the circuit to the enclosure, while a second screw secures the circuit to the cover, fastening the two parts together. Be sure to check out Phil B's guide on the Adafruit Learning System for a full tutorial and circuit diagram. Program the Pro Trinket over USB using the Adafruit Arduino libraries and demo sketch. Add a split ring to your lovely jewelry and a matching necklace to wear it out. The stunning animations of these flying toasters was programmed by the legendary Phil B. In this sketch, the animation stops after a while to save power, but is easily activated with a little bit of motion. So what 8-bit inspired ideas would you remix to this project? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure to check out our other previous videos for more.
And we're back. Don't forget, every Thursday on the blog, 3D Thursday, the best collection of posts online about 3D printing. So let's go to the overhead. Let's look at this little pendant thing.
I know, I love this thing. I've wanted this for like a year.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm going to design the Pro Trinket, and then we're going to have this OLED. And Phil B did all the code for it. It's just so cute.
He redrew the toasters, which is
He redrew the toasters to make them,
yeah.
I can even zoom in some more. So close.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really beautiful little display. And, you know, it's a little chunky, but it's not so bad for, like, not having a custom PCB. And it's rechargeable, and even kind of looks like a little bit like a Mac 2 CI or something.
Yeah, this is another one of those things where, like, we've been working on so many new products, and the goal was, like, one day we'll be able to have all the things in the Adafruit store to make a flying toaster pendant.
Yeah, I just go squee over flying toasters.
Okay, all right, before we get into new products, Dakota's Cosplay, 10% off in the Adafruit store, all the way up to 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight.
Okay, I'm ready.
With no further ado, Lady Ada, it's new product time.
I know.
Okay, first up.
Okay.
The new Bear Conductive Board.
The touch board.
Yes.
We have it, and as a warning, it's probably going to get a little bit more expensive because It just is. So if you want one, get one very soon.
Really? So we're probably going to raise prices on this.
It's likely.
You're telling people that right now after I just gave them the code. You're giving them all this.
No, I'm saying they should get it now.
You should get it now.
I raise the price because I'm not going to put one. I'm not going to.
Okay. I'm gonna turn on that microphone over there.
Okay. All right. So I have to get this demo ready because it's a pretty epic demo. So the touch board, and I have it here.
One moment. I gotta back out of this.
Oh yeah, back out.
I gotta back out of this thing.
I got a lot of stuff going on here.
I got a lot of stuff.
So this is the touch board, and I just want to show it off. So it's from Bear Conductive, and they make the conductive touch paint, which is over here actually, but I'll show off in a little bit. And basically, it's an Arduino Leonardo, and this is the Arduino Leonardo chip, and it includes a VS 1053. That's the Finnish MP3 chip company. To play MP3s off of an SD card, and here's the output to a headphone output, so you can like connect to speakers and stuff. And there's like a power supply circuit here, an on-off switch, and you can reprogram or recharge a optional rechargeable battery to the micro USB port. And it also comes with a capacitive. This over here, this is the capacitive touch chip. And when you touch these pads up here, it plays audio, and actually it comes with default audio that just like tells you how to use the board. So if I touch like this copper pad,
the touch board has 12 electrodes numbered E0 to E11 that behave like individual sensors. These are inputs that trigger sounds when you touch them.
Okay.
Like a nice accent. And we have a demo of a couple different things you can touch. Like for example, you can have it connected to like conductive thread.
There are 3 LED lights located near the...
I'm not going to play the whole thing. And then there's this like conductive fabric, and then there's conductive paint as well. So, and it's basically very flat, so you can put on a piece of paper and then like paint or connect or copper pad it up. So this is kind of like, it's kind of intense because there's a lot going on. It's an Arduino with MP3, rechargeable battery, headphone out, and capacitive touch. So it's an all-in-one board. It does a lot. But I think like if you have a complicated project that you want to make simple, even though this is a little bit intense, this will simplify your project a lot because it does so much of it all in one. Like you don't have to get like an MP3 shield and a capacitive touch shield and a Leonardo and like a battery shield. Like it is, considering all the stuff you get, it's pretty good.
We can use this. We can use these guns.
These ray guns.
As let me point out these things here.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So I just wanted to show that off. They have a really good video as well. I would suggest checking it out. I'm going to turn this off now. But yeah, anything you want where you want to have touch, play audio, and you want it to be a little bit complicated, this is a pretty cool project. So do check it out.
Okay. Moving right along. We've got another soundboard.
This is the 16 megabyte version of the soundboard that we've had for a bit. This one has headphone out. This is the soundboard that's in a lot of the new projects we've done, such as this ray gun. Goes pew. It's a little soundboard. It's actually a little bit similar to the capacitive touch soundboard from Bear Conductive, except it doesn't do capacitive touch. It's just for buttons. And you drag and drop audio files onto it. You can put up to 16 megabytes of audio, which is actually quite a bit, by the way. Like people are like 16 megabytes, but that's like 15 minutes of audio. So unless you're playing an album, it's
everything's okay. There's no problem.
It's a fair amount of audio, and then using buttons or you can connect sensors and stuff to it. You can trigger the audio, but it's not going to be as advanced or complicated as a touch board. Our soundboard is very simple and basic.
Okay.
Just for like putting in props and toys and stuff. Just big boxes.
Next up, headers.
Headers. This one is the shorty, and then if you go ahead a little bit, can you skip ahead to the longy?
Okay, longy.
Longy.
Shorty.
Shorty. And then I will...
That's its term that you need to search for now.
That's-
It's not. It's not. We're just kidding about that.
These are 2x20 headers, and...
Whoa.
Sorry. This is actually... You can't adjust, right? Okay.
Well, it's already kind of
it's
ready.
level.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
fine.
already for this.
So this is a header that plugs very nicely onto a Raspberry Pi B+. B+ only, not Model B. I know, you're just like, can I use it on my Model B? No, you cannot. It's only for the B+. We have similar ones for the Model B that are shorter. This is a full 40 pins. And this one is extra long. And as you can tell, it's extra long. So if you want to put like a hat or a shield or PCB or whatever on top here, it will stick over it. So even with the PCB in place, you can put another hat, shield, whatever on top of it. So it's a stacking capable header. We also have ones that are extra long that they have like extra spacers, but we just wanted to show all the different, have all the different options depending on what you wanted it for. So that's the extra long. When you remove these, just be careful. And then this is like classic short, female header. So there you go. Just put it on, and then you can. It doesn't clear the USB and Ethernet jacks, but it's pretty low cost because it's very simple. So header connection.
All right.
Go for it. Make your Raspberry Pi hats.
Next up, we have now I believe the 2 best cosplay books in the world. We just had the 1001 cosplay book, and then we just added this one. It is one of the best, I guess coffee table books they call them.
This is a coffee table book.
Yeah, we took photos of the book, but you have to take a look at this book.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Really gorgeous. I mean, this is like amazing.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It's a beautiful book. It gives you really good ideas, and also they have like little mini interviews with the cosplayers. It's tasteful, safe for work, but lots of fun.
Yeah. So it's one of the most beautiful books with people who are making their passion, their costuming. By the way, if someone's watching this live or even later, go on Twitter. Someone posted up this board costume that they made using a NeoPixel ring and the servo.
Oh,
it looks better than the ones that were on the show.
So here's
oh my god!
So what's funny is because you're working on the paint box prop from Dune, and one of the sad things is when you actually see really good photos, because movies are not, especially movies from not this decade, the resolution it wasn't that high in the theaters. It's really blurry. You don't get to see a lot of the details, and so the props aren't that great. I mean, they're good.
The David Lynch paint box, it was just a wooden box they've kind of painted green, and they got a little copper handle. It's like, okay. So.
There's not a lot going on there.
Right.
So
next up.
So the cosplay, these people put so much more detail because they're meant to be looked up close.
Yeah, and everything's in HD now.
And there's no CGI. They have to wear this stuff, so check it out.
Everything has to look good on a 5K display now. Oh my gosh. Okay. So
it's beautiful.
Last but not least, to start the show, besides you, are these crazy touchscreen conversion HDMI video jamming things that does all sorts of things with the Pi. It's an HDMI DVI decoder breakout, USB touch. It's like it does everything.
There's a lot going on.
Or something there's a lot going on.
Let's
I'm gonna go to the overhead.
Let's go to the overhead.
Okay, tell me what this is.
So there's 2 versions, and I'll talk about this version first, which is the simpler version without touch. So the heart of this breakout board is the TFP 401A actually, from TI, and this is a HDMI DVI decoder. It's actually a DVI decoder, but HDMI is like the connector uses the DVI protocol. So it doesn't support the encryption, the HDCP, but it works with like 99% of stuff. Like you can't stream your Blu-ray through it, but whatever, we designed it for use with BeagleBone, Raspberry Pi, and computers and laptops and stuff. And it takes HDMI in, so it's like a standard HDMI connector, and you can power it over USB. And the video is decoded on this chip and then piped out to this connector. And this connector is a standard connector for small TFT displays. So that's the basic one. And then this one is the same, but it adds a touch controller. So a lot of our screens, our little TTL TFT displays, have a touch overlay. And the touch pins come through the connector here. And so there's a touch screen element as well, so you can have a resistive touch. And basically, this is a little monitor driver. Like you can connect small monitors, like 7-inch and 7-inch diagonal, 5-inch and 7-inch diagonal displays with and without touch screens. And it's pretty low cost because it's very bare bones, and you can power it over USB, which is kind of handy if you don't want to get an external plug. And it's really small. This is as small as it's going to get for a HDMI display driver. So, we have monitors that have big driver boards, and they're really chunky because they have a VGA connector or whatever. But if you want to embed this into a project or enclosure, say we were going to do some projects and enclosures with the Raspberry Pi that have a high quality screen, this is really, really small.
And you get a touchscreen with this.
And you can get a version with or without a touchscreen depending on whether you want to spend the extra. So this is the demo. And for the demo, I'm using a Raspberry Pi, but you can use a Windows computer or any Linux computer. You can use a Mac, you can use a laptop, anything with HDMI out. You can use a Model B+. That's cool. Can you hide me? Just because I'm going to...
Can I hide you? Okay.
Yeah, hide.
I'm going to hide you.
Hide me.
All right.
Bye-bye. Okay. Just so I have more space. And then I have the HDMI connected over here to the little ribbon cable. And then the USB port is powering and also using the touch controller through USB. So it's power and data. You can do the touch control as well as powering the project. Hold on, I've got this power cable. And then I'm showing the one with the touch screen on top of it. So it's a 5-inch 800 by 480 pixel display. This is the smallest size 800 by 480 display. And 800 and 480, the resolution is kind of this nice resolution where like stuff actually starts working at this resolution. You can actually, like, for example, run Scratch. Give it a second to load up here. So you can actually run Scratch at this resolution, and it will actually, like, you can actually use it instead of like on a Pi TFT where it's too small. You can, hold on, let me quit. Hello. You can run like the web browser or a terminal or connect to the Pi store or whatever. Like, this actually doesn't have Minecraft on it because it's an older Pi, but like I ran Minecraft and I was playing Minecraft on it. So it's a nice small screen, and it's really, really high quality because it's HDMI, so you get like perfect quality pixels, and it's very, very small. So you get this like little mini driver, and it also doesn't draw that much current. So you can drive it and power it off of a USB port. It draws about 500 milliamps. So it's something that like you can have, the mouse and power over USB port. So it's kind of handy if you want to have an all-in-one touch display type setup.
Okay.
So that's that. So yeah, we have both versions, the touch and non-touch. This one just shows the touch version, but imagine it doesn't have a touch screen. If you don't want to spend the extra money for it, that's the non-touch version.
Okay. My mic.
Hello?
Did I just leave my mic?
Oh, there it is.
Where? Where'd it go? This happens sometimes.
Uh-oh. No mic. People are listening to your belly button. Wait, no, you're fine.
That's the worst. Okay, anyways. All right, so that's new products idea.
Oh, log out.
That's it. That's new products.
Okay.
Congratulations. Okay, everyone, get your questions
Yay.
in the chat. The code is cosplay, 10% off in Adafruit store. Let's do questions, and then we'll do a trivia question. So post your questions.
Yeah, do it.
I got some more right now. Okay, are you ready?
Yes. You said there was a question.
No, there is.
Okay.
What about heat dissipation on that FTDI board?
Oh, the HDMI board. It's not bad. You don't need. It has a big copper pad underneath, and it's die sunk. The die is the heat sink.
Okay.
You don't need any heat sink. You don't have to worry about heat issues. Actually, the Pi. By the way, like the Pi chip, people like really talk about needing like air and like heat sinks. This chip does not need a heat sink unless you're doing something like overclocking it 8 times the speed. I mean, it's meant to go inside of a phone. There's no fan inside of phones, so all this stuff is meant to work without fans.
Okay. Next up, is that unit are those units in the store now? Yes.
Yeah, this display is in the store.
Yeah.
We're selling just the breakout board, and we'll have you can buy the screen separately just because like some people already have the screens.
Yeah.
We'll have other sizes of screens coming in soon. Right now we only have the 5-inch, but we'll have a 7-inch screen hopefully in the next couple weeks.
Yeah. Next up, has there been any headway getting a CDMA Phono? Yeah, we're working on it. They're expensive and they're big, and Phono is our umbrella brand for all sorts of cellular and data. So as soon as
the thing is, should we just skip ahead to like HDPA? I don't even remember.
Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff. But Phono
4G or just CDMA? Yeah.
At some point, every single type of network will have a Phono, we hope. So, okay. Next up, is there a Minty Boost or similar charger that passes USB data?
There isn't that I know of. We have the Power Boost, which doesn't pass the data lines through, but you can connect to the 5-volt externally. So if you have something else that has a USB port, and you can get the 5-volt and ground out, you can use the Power Boost series.
Okay. Could you use a trinket if you were building. Well, if you can use this screen and a trinket if you wanted to build a touchscreen phone. Now you need a beefier
No, this you need something that
microcontroller.
has HDMI. So this screen, it's big and it's very fast, but it's like a TV. You need to have something that can drive a TV monitor at HDMI resolution. So for that, you need like a BeagleBone or a Raspberry Pi or a laptop or another kind of Linux computer, something that's running an operating system. We do have these screens that can be run. You can run this off of a Pro Trinket using our this screen and the RA8875 breakout, which does SPI to TTL display drivers. We also have a lot of smaller screens. They're smaller resolution, but you can drive from like a Pro Trinket. Like the OLED display runs from a Pro Trinket, and that's 128 by 64. And other small screens like 320 by 240, you can run that from an Arduino or a Pro Trinket. But the Trinket itself doesn't have a lot of pins, so it's not good for displays.
Yeah. How does the conductive ink or any of those things connect to the bare conductive board?
You just layer it over, and it's thick enough that it just makes a continuous conduction.
Yeah, I can zoom in on this photo, I think.
Why don't you zoom in on this photo?
I'm going to zoom in on this
photo. You
photo.
can clip with alligator clips, or you can sort of see that she kind of put the Becky made this demo. She put the ink in, and it kind of glued into the hole. And then the copper tape, you just copper tape it over, because the glue we have on our copper tape is conductive. So you just lay it over. You don't have to solder it.
Will the board, the HDMI board that you showed tonight, work with the Model B?
It is working on a Model B right now.
Okay.
It'll also work on a Model B Plus.
Okay. Someone asked if the microserver, for the Pantel kit, the microserver attachments don't fit the kit. You might want to post up in the forums. That one I'm not sure of because we'd have to.
You have to cut the horns and attach. It's not.
Yeah, I don't think it's
fun.
Yeah.
It's not a ready to go thing. You have to do some adjustments to make it fit.
Yeah.
If you post in the forums and I know I think there's a tutorial being worked on, so
yeah.
maybe it'll be
okay. And this is kind of a long question, so this might be the last one. You ready? When I disconnect the Flora 9DOF, well, you know which one it is, by turning off the power on the Flora and turn it back on, it crashes and just prints constant values. Then when I wait 20 more seconds, it doesn't happen, or disconnects 3-volt pin on the sensor or prevents its crash. Very strange. Any idea why? And most important, does cause problems multiplexing on the SDA line to connect 2 9DOFs on one floor.
You cannot connect 2 9DOFs on one floor because the I2C addresses are fixed. So definitely that won't work. As for printing out fixed values, sounds like something's amiss with the I2C bus. Check your connections. But you can, if you reset something very fast, like an Arduino, it might just brown out. It might not properly reset. You can always hit the reset button and see if that helps. But post in the forums and show screenshots and stuff. That always helps for these difficult questions and stuff.
Okay. All right, Lady Ada, it's time to give something away. Okay. What are the rules for the trivia question?
Rules are, if you've won a fabulous prize from this show already, you cannot win again. One winner per my lifetime. You can enter if you've won something from Becky's show or 3D Hangouts. That's totally cool. And then, is the prize today this book?
Okay. That's a good.
I think that's the best, or the 16 megabyte thing. Which one do you want?
No, let's. What I think I want to do is I want to give away the cosplay book because it's a beautiful book, and that's actually a really good prize.
We're gonna give you the cosplay book because we think it's more interesting than our stuff.
No,
it's a beautiful book though.
Yeah. So here it is. Here's a trivia question.
Okay.
First person I see to post this in the comments, I'll get. What is the hashtag of our Halloween celebration this year? It's on all the Halloween posts. It's a hashtag. It's pound something. What is it?
Pound.
Yeah.
Pound what?
So we'll see who gets it right first. It is our Halloween hashtag. Let's see who gets
pound.
it. We are waiting.
Pound, not pound cosplay.
There are 2 places I'm looking. Pound cake is not it. Oh, Rhett C, congratulations in the YouTube chat. You got it. Email support@adafruit.com. It's
Pound Electronic Halloween.
Yeah, pound electronic Halloween.
Electronic Halloween.
And you know how you know? It's on this little banner that had Pound Electronic Halloween. So Red C, email support@adafruit.com and say, hey, I'm Red C. I won the contest. I get this cosplay book.
That's awesome.
Okay. All right. Well, that's it for the show tonight. Thank you, everyone.
We're all winners.
That's right. Thank you, everyone in Show and Tell. Thank you, all the Adafruit staff that's helping out and all the people here doing stuff. Thank you, all the folks that are helping support an open source hardware company like Adafruit by purchasing things and viewing. Don't forget the code's cosplay. 10% off all the way to 11:59 p.m. tonight. We'll see everybody here next week. 11. We'll see everybody here next week, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Do this every week. Ask an Engineer. And one last thing, I want to do a special thanks. So just a few years ago, all of New York, for the most part, was shut down, and it was a disaster because of Sandy.
Yeah.
And
We're still here.
I want to thank all of our customers who were patient. There was no electricity. There was no nothing. It was
an electronic Halloween.
It was pretty. It was grim. It was pretty grim. We had just moved to our factory. The whole area downtown, half of New York was out. We decided, let's just pay all our employees no matter what. And the customers kept placing orders online. Luckily, we had servers all over the place. And thank you, because this is the Sandy anniversary. So just special thanks to everyone. And if you look on Adafruit Pound Sandy, we documented everything as we could. And there's some areas that are still recovering. If you're in New York, check out some of the areas that were hit hardest, like the financial district, and go visit some of those businesses.
Especially down at the Seaport.
Yeah, go visit those businesses.
The Seaport was hit real hard. Almost everyone went out of business.
So we still try to go down there and support some of the local businesses. That's where Adafruit got its start. Just a block or so away from the Trade Center, Ground Zero.
Yeah.
So that
I remember for a year later, there were still like trying to clean up these buildings.
Yeah.
It was a mess.
But thank you very much to everyone who got us through that. We had a rough October, but then we came back, and that November was our biggest month ever. So thank you. Thank you, everyone.
All right.
Okay.
And send photos of your Halloween costumes.
That's right.
Electronic Halloween costumes. It's not too late. You have 2 days.
Happy Halloween. Here
Happy
is
Halloween.
a picture of MOSFET. Here is your mom of a Zener.